Our society has been polarized to think there cannot be two rights and two wrongs simultaneously. Our obsession with morality is robbing us of the human experience. Often we see people are quick to judge mistake or to call out mistake as if it's a matter of life and death. This is to say, the human interaction isn't contingent on a single mind. The subject of morality opens a doorway into the paradoxical nature of the universe. Is morality subjective or objective? This question is comparable, linked to the question of whether or not there is a God, and also into the ties of free will. We define God as a being conceived as the perfect, omnipotent, omniscient originator and ruler of the universe, the principal object of faith and worship in monotheistic religion. We run straight to several paradoxes. Omnipotence paradox, for instance, the Euthyphro dilemma. Socrates asked Euthyphro, is the pious loved by the gods because it is pious, or is it pious because it is loved by the gods? Basically, it's something good because God commands it, or does God command it because it is good? So within this dilemma, there exists two horns. Side of the horn, it questions, or I just say that good is good just because God says so. It's good because God commands it to be. The fault in this is that we can't fundamentally explain the reason as to why good exists. It's like we're following a default system in which we were not able to take part in crafting. On the other side of the horn, it says God says so because it is good, meaning moral is subjective. The fault in this part of the horn is it states that morality is external to God. Humans are limited by both language and ability to process logic, and maybe a solution to this lies outside of the reach of our own understanding. If God is omnipotent, then the universe is by necessary deterministic. The future is predetermined, then how can any human being or any other life form possibly be responsible for their own action? They are only following a preordained path. So in the argument of objective morality, we have to ignore the paradoxes of omnipotence and assume that if there is an omnipotent creator, he will be the arbiter of morality. The universe seems to be vast and uncaring place. You can easily observe what we would consider moral. Outside of this closed system, it is not observed anywhere else. Even if we were to take the position of morality being entirely subjective in nature, we are not free to the burden of the paradox. For instance, if we follow the presupposition, suffering is bad and pleasure is good, we can argue that it's moral to cause no suffering. And that will be hypocritical, as we have seen the entire existence of human being is based on suffering. There is no possible way that you can exist without inflicting varying degree of suffering. Our whole society and ecosystem is a giant network of interconnected subsystems that are both codependent and in competition. And just by existing, you are actively participating in the direction that this system flow in. For instance, the politics surrounding carnivorous diet versus the vegan diet. We usually see most critique come upon those who use the carnivorous diet. While the people using vegan diet may receive much grace, even if you are vegan, just as animals, plants demonstrate clear signs of self-preservation. They have evolved defense mechanisms to protect themselves from the predator. And just because humans were incapable of empathizing with a life form so vastly different from theirs, this does not distract from the fact that an organism has a will to live and you are depriving it of its will. If someone is raised to think power itself is bad and harmless is good, they are unlikely to grow stronger. In the philosophical work of Nietzsche, which has been heavily criticized over the years, he suggests that the baseline of morals is built on the resentment that all people have equal moral values. He completely disagrees that we should look out for other people who we consider less fortunate than ourselves. While other writers like the likes of Leo Tolstoy, who urges that the truistic foundation of all morality is treating others as you treat yourself, Nietzsche gives the antithesis of this by stating that such way of thinking, which he refers to as the slave mentality, leads to the decline of humanity rather than civilization of humans. He believes the slave mentality attempts of stopping people from becoming powerful causes us to lose the potential as humans and limit humans to the weakest member. In his book Beyond Good and Evil, he writes, "The one method of effecting satisfaction on their enemy and triumphs was by the means of radical transvaluation of values, which was at the same time an act of cleverest revenge." Nietzsche calls individuals to ditch the slave mentality by trans-evaluating our moral code or moral values. He encourages us to craft a new way of defining what is good or bad, or rather crafting of new values that he. While some people will call this an individual with a whole similar to the disposition of a giant, others say it's a firm instruction of a figure who will not allow his protege or his child, his mentee, to be so comfortable that they waste their lives away being caught up by the ethical system. If you look through his work, you will notice that Nietzsche is not concerned by the ethical system. In actuality, he even questions if an ethical system can be true. The philosopher objects any kind of system that does not allow you to question some phenomenal preposition, or that encourage people to worship something to the point or extent that they lose their individuality or stray away from their individual will. He supports work of Zarathustra, who said he doesn't hate the weak, but hates people who identify with their weakness, because it gives insecurity artificial power that destroy lives. Instead, God remains dead and we have killed him. Why do we have to give a sigh of pessimism whenever someone encounters something they deem as not right, or something that is unholy? Values. Instead of becoming an ascetic being, he urges individuals to be free thinkers. He dismisses any sort of egalitarianism, as he dreads it with an axiom of the moral system. Even though his work had caused error, Nietzsche is unfazed on the criticism, as he states, He creates work to generate free thinkers who don't carry the letter of his work but rather a spirit of
You people are insensitive as fuck. People are dying out here, y'all. We live in a society where people would rather sit back and do nothing instead of actually worry about the things that matter.
moral policing of people on the internet has become a fixation in the recent years. Why are you obsessed in being right, or rather appearing morally right or morally superior? Which people often carry themselves as having the God complex mentality.
There's a certain flavor of woke that teeter-tots around the line of a God complex. And some of y'all have that real bad. Some of y'all move through this world like you have won this internal battle that everyone else is losing. And you think that you're the chosen one because you've read a book or two about philosophy and you have an opinion. You believe that you are literally sent from above to change the minds of people with these lukewarm opinions that the next bitch has every other day. It's so weird. And then they'll get up on TikTok and they'll say, it's so hard once you realize that everything is a simulation. It's so hard to even play the game. Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Literally. You watched The Matrix and read 2 books and now you think that you're this enlightened person who just knows the secrets of the universe, yet you eat Golden Corral every day. Please get out of my face. It's so annoying and disingenuous, and it's just, you've given yourself a power trip without having any actual power.
Often, some people don't get context cues of certain videos, clip, pictures, or even a question. And they will start raising questions of where are the nuances of this topic, the whataboutisms, easily forgetting that mentioning one thing does not exclude the existence of the other. Instead of yes and, they often raise the question no but. Even though it's the same conversation, you can just expand it. Not every single thing brought to you through the internet is completely curated or crafted for you. Someone excluding a belief that you heavily stand on shouldn't send you to a rage to start complaining about exclusion and how they didn't or don't mention what you expected. Again, 2 things can be correct or right at once. It's simply coexistence of variants, or rather, they aren't mutually exclusive. We shouldn't make truths are limited and often confused. Moral truths are intelligible, but not exhaustively intelligible. You cannot understand everything because it will require you to completely understand reality and contain it in your mind. Reality is infinite, making that impossible. Human reasoning is often distorted by self-interest and other desires. You might not arrive at the right conclusion sometimes. There is a spectrum of what humans are capable of arriving in terms of reasoning. This is why we should have some revolution and grace when we are being critical over people on what is right or wrong, because it helps us to improve the moral reality. People who want to learn and are willing to ask questions or appear dumb are usually the smartest, because they are admitting they don't know everything. There's no such thing as a stupid question. It means even in your line of thinking, if your line of thinking is wrong, you are still thinking. You'd find someone asking a question about something and some people would laugh or ridicule someone at their own expense, but still not to go out of the way to explain the question or answer. Literally, they don't understand the concept deeper than the one who asked. If you are constantly thinking about everyone around